My audience are my classmates and my professor. I've considered their age, cultural background, prior knowledge, and as well as our environment to prepare my speech. What is racism? Do you think of slavery or do you think of bigotry and prejudice? Today I'll be discussing the topic of modern day racism, specifically towards African American people with the movie Get Out. Get Out is a social horror film that the director tries to convey the message that modern day racism is still prominent. And he conveys this message with outdated and as well as modern examples to let the viewer know his message. I will be speaking about characters, symbolism, a specific scene called the auction/bingo scene, and as well as the director and current events that were happening during production. So for the characters that I wanted to mention, there is Chris, who is the main character. He is going to meet his white girlfriend's family, but in the process of meeting her family, he goes through a series of racist and dangerous events. And then we have Rose, Chris's girlfriend, who we see as innocent, but she then shows her true colors as bait to lure African American people to her racist family. And then we have Rose's parents, Dr. Dean Armitage, who is a neurosurgeon who transplants older white people's brains into younger African American people's bodies. And then we have Missy Armitage, who is a therapist who uses hypnosis to essentially manipulate Chris and as well as other African American people to undergo the surgery. And then we have Walter and Georgina, who are the Armitage's servants, and we view them as strange and disconnected, but we then find out this is due to their brains being swapped out. And then a few pieces of symbolism that I wanted to mention. There is the deer, which is brought up throughout the movie, but this represents the way that Armitages hunt down African American people, the way they hunt down deer. And then we have the silver spoon that Missy uses during hypnosis. And the silver spoon represents a figure of speech that describes privilege. And then we have the sunken place, which is the state of hypnosis that Chris is in. And this represents oppression and as well as powerlessness. And then we also have cotton, and this is an ironic representation that Chris had to essentially pick cotton out of the couch to save himself from being hypnotized. And then I wanted to speak about the current events that were happening during production. So this movie began production in 2016 during Trump's presidency. Peele said that even though he began production in 2016, this was a response to Barack Obama's presidential reign. Barack Obama was the first Black president of the United States, and this was representing America shaking off its racist past. But this was brought up in the movie for a way for the white guests to connect and to make small talk with Chris. And then the director, Jordan Peele, who is known for his sketch comedy Key and Peele, where they comically address their social observations that they had in society about prejudice and stereotypes. And Peele says he was writing this during the Obama era, the era of a post-racial lie. He dismantles the post-racial lie by showing social situations of microaggression, the auction scene, and as well as the transplanting of the brains and other ways as well in the movie. And then this specific scene that I wanted to talk about is the bingo/auction scene. It symbolizes modern day slavery, systemic racism, and dehumanization. It is an auction disguised as a bingo game. It mirrors historical slave markets where Chris's body is being sold off for the white people to have their brain transplanted onto his body. This movie uses horror and suspense to depict racism and discomfort that African American people face in the US. Peele portrays the way African American people are exploited and dehumanized, and he conveys this message with character representation as well as the symbolism of the sunken place, the deer, the silver spoon, the cotton, and as well as the time and the era that he produced and released this movie. Thank you.